This is Abby, and this video is on Mercury in Sagittarius. So, if you have Mercury in Sag, you probably put your foot in your mouth all the time. Mercury in Sagittarius is not considered its best placement because Sagittarius is the opposite sign of Gemini, which is a natural placement for Mercury. So, it's in its detriment in Sagittarius, and essentially, the way you come across when you learn things, when you speak, is like you're very truthful and you're like very honest, like all the fire signs. But you're so blunt, like you can insult people by just stating things in a way that insults them, and you can come across as being like very selfish or self-absorbed, because you're very subjective. It's all about like your experience. And you're like a crusader though, like you are all about like causes and like beliefs, and you'll talk about them. Excuse me. And Mercury in Sag loves to learn about foreign cultures. So like you might love to travel and talk to people in different languages and like learn about things from across the world and like learn about maybe religious stuff, spiritual stuff. But you might come across as being a little bit preachy, like on a soapbox when you talk to people about this stuff, because you have your eyes like almost on a faraway prize. Like your eyes are always like far away because your Mercury is ruled by a planet that's, or your Mercury is in a planet that's ruled by Jupiter, which is a planet of like expansion, and that involves travel and like ideas that are like big and lofty, and you might have trouble with the small details of like people face to face with you. So like if you're talking to people like your neighbor, you might like forget your neighbor's name all the time, and they might be like, God, that girl is such a bitch or something. Or you might like have trouble being socially tactful because tact isn't really your thing. You don't really have a lot of tact. You don't see the point to it sometimes, so that can be a problem for you. But Mercury in Sag is very creative, very entertaining, very good at like if you're playing charades, you're going to be like the hit because you're going to be great at like miming things out or whatever, playing things out. And you don't have that sort of like seriousness that Leo has. Like Leo has drama, and theater is great, but it's just very like more of a serious thing. Sag is like never serious. It's just got this lightness of being about it that is like, it's just a good time, guys. It's just life. Let's party. Let's have fun. And Mercury and Sag can be very jokester. Like you might have jokes all the time, jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes. Like that's you. You're just like, let's have fun here. And that might be something that can be bad when you're like, say, in a workplace. You might get in trouble for that. Or you might rub people the wrong way and they think you're making fun of them when you're just trying to have fun. You might actually like hurt people by them thinking you don't take them seriously, or you don't, you sort of putting them in a spotlight they don't want to be in. But the things that, if you have Mercury retrograde in Sag, you might have a lot of learning problems at school. Like they might be like putting you in detention all the time because you're not paying attention. Your eyes are always out the window. You're always like, like you might seem like you're daydreaming all the time. And that's going to like drive you crazy. You're going to be so restless in school. Like you might have had a really hard time in elementary school, and only until when you got to like college did you really get to sort of start learning about things that interested you and expanding your horizons and things. So, if you have a youngster who has Mercury retrograde in Sag, or you are a young person or an adult still having problems with your like learning problems, like the best thing to do for you is to just get focused on things that actually interest you, which might be like learning new languages. But the thing that you have to understand is that in order to make it work for you, you have to take things that you learn and assimilate them into the world around you, and not in a preachy way. So like, trying to teach people stuff they don't want to know is not going to get you where you want to be with the world around you. But like if you come across people who, let's say you have a coworker who speaks Spanish and you learn Spanish, you can talk to that person about their life, about, you know, their family and stuff, but you can talk to them in Spanish, and that would be cool for you, and that might be really something that they could connect with because they'd feel that you had a personal connection with them. That is a perfect way for, like, an example for a Mercury and Sag, retrograde or direct, like, to work their interests into their life. Or, like, let's say you know that somebody is from a different country and you go to school with them or you work with them or whatever. You can learn about their culture just because that's something that interests you, and then you can use it to have conversations with them and to, like, learn about them, not to try to teach them about their own culture, you know. Don't piss people off by telling them something they know better than you. But, you know, there's lots of ways for Mercury and Sag to really, like, fulfill its need for, like, learning and education, and also have a way of, like, sharing that experience with someone, because it's really important for you to feel connected to the people around you. And that's Mercury and Sag. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them. Thanks for watching.